Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bagadon, Stock Market Caddy, and welcome to what is now our seventh live robotic webinar. We did 5 last week, every day for an hour. We did one on Tuesday of this week for a little bit less than an hour. And today, we're going to do it for an hour, or if we make at least $500, we may end, or if there are any more questions. So this is your opportunity to ask us any questions that you might have. And let's get an open microphone here. In the Zoom room. We're recording this for the benefit of our members and for our posterity's sake. But again, we have had this is our 7th 1-hour session. All sessions have been profitable up until we don't know the outcome. This is a live market. We will do this for probably no more than an hour. That's our plan. If we make $500 or more, we will stop and or answer any questions that you might have. So with no further ado, what we're going to do while we're here is we're going to arm this particular strategy. And you'll see the orders go in and out up here if there are any. And we're only going to do the NQ. I have no idea what the market is going to throw us. But I'm pretty intimate with this particular strategy that we've been running, and it usually provides us some nice orders, some nice profit opportunities in a relatively short period of time. And that's one of the things in doing the webinars that we've learned. We have other strategies that can take, some time to set up and then take some time to play out. And we can't be doing the webinars for 2, 3, 4 hours. Usually my block of trading time, although I'm around the markets just about all day doing one thing or another, but my trading time is usually confined to about 1 hour to usually no more than 4. You see, folks, I try to control the things that I can control. And I can control my setup, my pre-shot routine, right? Like a golfer. A golfer has a pre-shot routine. How he grips the club, how he takes his stance and posture and what he does. And the purpose and the idea behind having a pre-shot routine is to build some comfort for the golfer so that when he is under stress or in a competitive environment, he can say to himself, at least mentally, been here, done that. I've done this before. When you have a pattern and you have consistency in what it is you're doing, then that consistency can breed or is the fertile ground for confidence. But if you don't have a consistent approach to your trading, it's next to impossible to ever get any confidence. How could you? So let me give you an example. Well, let me ask you some questions. Do you trade? Do you know before the week starts what days you're going to be trading? Do you know what time you're going to start? Do you know at what time you want to end? Do you have any, profit objectives? Do you have any stop loss, drawdown objectives? Because it's not possible to put on a trade day after day after day and have that not only be a winning trade, but never have a drawdown, that is, have losing money. Do you know what you're going to do? If you don't know what you're going to do, even down to the point where how much time you're going to put in, then what kind of consistency is that? And why would you expect to be able to get confident in doing anything. You know, a lot of people, and this is a seminar on robotic trading. And by the way, the machine is armed and ready to go. And I hope we get a trade. Let's look at the time. But if we don't, we don't. It's 12:05. And the machine is running. And if there is a trade, we'll be on it. And I do expect to have a good outcome. I do. Every time I sit down, every time I, set up, I do expect, as in golf, to hit a good shot. Now, do I hit a good shot every time? No, I don't, especially in golf. And trading is no different. So, robotic trading is very contingent upon you. Right? We have dozens and dozens of strategies and indicators and tools. But if you don't have a systematic approach, then they're probably not going to help you. There probably isn't going to be anything that's going to help you. Because you're going to have a hard time, if you're, and to give you, for instance, if it's Monday and you just got off the phone with the boss, you say, geez, you know what? My next sales call is not until 2. I'm going to get in here. It's 10:15. I can trade from 10:15 to 11:15, 11:20 maybe, and then I got to get going because I got to get to that sales call. So let's go. Let's turn on the machine. Let's get in the market and let's get some risk on. If you do that, maybe you make money, maybe you lose, but the bigger consideration is that it isn't going to help you. You're not going to derive any confidence from that. The next day, when is it going to be? From 3 to 4? Or is it going to be from 7 at night to 9 at night when the markets are illiquid? I don't need a stop because I don't want to lose. So you don't put a stop on. Oh man, I'm down $500. Oh my God, my wife's going to kill me. No, I'm down $1,000. Oh God, I better just take it. And then it turns around and runs the other way. That isn't going to help you. So we actually, before we can begin to teach our members machine trading, we do need to go through what we call a Q school, and we do need to coach them in their discretionary trading to be mechanical in their approach, to be systematic in their approach. Because that systematic approach is going to help their discretionary trading and is going to be a godsend with the machine, and they're going to become, in one with the machine. And the machine, they're going to help the machine do better. The machine is going to help them. They're going to get better and better and better. But if you don't have a systematic approach, it's hard to get a really good outcome. And it's really hard to learn. And if you don't keep score, you don't keep a record of what it is you're doing, then you're kind of flying by the seat of your pants. You could be reacting to just the money. And if you're reacting to just the money, then you're reacting to greed and fear, and you're not reacting to anything specific. Now, we're 9 to 10 minutes into this session on robotic trading, and you're probably like, well, show me something, dang it. Show me how that works, and when that line crosses that line, give it to me. That's all I need to know. I don't need to know anything else. But you do. You do. You see, I could do, and I've watched many a webinar on trading. It looks ridiculous to me. They get so much shit on their screen and all this hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics, there's an old term, right? Does anybody even, the kids of today have no idea, but gibberish is what it amounts to. They put all this gibberish on the screen. And when that line crosses that line, that's all you're going to do. That's all you got to do. It's amazing. You know, they do their webinars after the market's closed. We do our webinars at high noon when the markets are open. I mean, the market might crash. The market might run. The market might do this. The market might do that. And I'm live. I might fall down. I might lose money. And I might. I don't think so, but I might. Let me show you something. Let me try to, while the machine is running. And by the way, this is Swing Machine. And I should have introduced myself. I'm sorry. I'm bagging on at Stock Market Caddy. This is Swing Machine. This is the NQ Futures on a Kagi chart running a particular strategy of ours that has been optimized. And this is my account information. And we have a zero balance. Now, I'm going to draw out, if we get an order, by the way, we'll see the order up here on no matter what workspace I'm on. So we'll know and we'll come back to it. And again, where I'm going to just chat with you and offer you a perspective. You're welcome to subscribe to us on YouTube for free. You can subscribe to us on Twitter for free. You're welcome to visit our website. It's free. You're welcome to give me a call, and that's free. If you're interested in joining, we have two levels of membership. One is a monthly membership, basically $100 a month, $99.95 month to month. You don't earn anything, it's not a value. You know, you're free to quit. Very, very rarely do we lose anybody. If you want these tools and more tools, and you want to learn more from us, some of the intangible stuff that maybe isn't on a screen. You know, we teach our members a lot of things that many times aren't on a screen. It could be what's between our ears as as humans. I'm human. I'm not a machine. I try to trade like a machine, but I'm not. I have emotions as well. Program that we have is called a Q School. It's 3 weeks. It's $1,500. And if you take that program, and at the end of that program, you want all these tools on your desktop, we will subsidize that program by discounting the annual membership. The annual membership from $5,000 to $3,500. Still need to be a monthly member because you get access to us during the day and you get a host of other things. So I'm happy to answer those questions personally, but we won't waste time here in that webinar doing that. My phone number, though, you can jot it down, is 813-758-8263. Let me draw out a flow chart for you. I like the flow charts, and this is the way I look at things. And sometimes it's very kind of mechanical, compartmentalized. It's the way I do look at a lot. And so let me see if I can draw this out. We're going to do this live. So let's say you start trading here at whatever time. You've got a set day, and this is your start time. And what we're suggesting is that you want to have an expected time frame, whatever that time frame is. So this is going to be your trading range of time. And now you've got some decisions to make. What are some of those decisions? Well, in this little box, you've got to decide what market you're going to trade. In this box, you've got to decide what interval, what chart are you going to trade. In this box, you've got to decide the amount of leverage. Any leverage, maybe no leverage. You got to decide that. I don't have time. I'm not going to write them all down here. But we still got other decisions. And now we got to decide. You got to decide when and where to enter the trade. And you got to decide the direction. Then you've also got to decide How long do I stay? Do you have a profit objective? Do you have a stop loss? How long do I stay? And therefore, you've also got to decide when to exit, right? Those are just a few of the decisions, just a few that you got to decide in this period of trading. And, we can put a bigger box around all that. And you got to repeat that over and over again. A lot of uncertainty in there, right? And that uncertainty can create stress. I was to write it out. Could create some stress, could create some anxiety. And you're going to decide the frequency, because again, it's not enough to make just one trade. Now, we've been on here for 15 minutes. I want to see some trading. Come on. This is robotic trading. This thing ain't robotic trading. No, the machine's saying for the criteria that I set up, there aren't any trades. It came earlier at 11 o'clock. It would be up. Oh, yeah, sure, it would be up. Yeah, it is, but that's, we can, show that, but it doesn't matter. But we still think we're going to have a shot at getting some trades. But this is what we call discretionary trading. A lot of decisions need to be made over and over and over again. Because you got to do this maybe how many times in this trading block? And how many trading blocks are there going to be in your trading week, right? And we didn't even talk about the strategy. So now, just think about this for a minute. You got to make all these decisions, which we do expect our members to make. We give them criteria to do it. We do. But now, you start moving things around. From one day to the next, you know what? I traded that market yesterday. I think I'm going to trade copper tomorrow. And I used a mini contract yesterday. I didn't make that much. I'm going to put on 2 minis. I'm going to change the leverage. Right? And I'm going to change, I was trading a 15-minute chart. I'm going to trade a 1-minute chart because I can trade even faster. And, I'm going to start changing. I was doing this, I was doing that, that didn't work. I'm going to try something else. And you start changing everything from day to day to day. And maybe you don't even know when you're going to end. I'm just going to end when I end. I've been trading. I'm tired. It's 3:15. I'm quitting. Or you know what? I'm going to trade right till 4 o'clock. And that's when I end. And you do something different every single day, every single week. And then you say to yourself, boy, I don't have any confidence. I can't do this, or nobody can do this. Well, why would you expect to have any confidence when you don't even have any consistency in your setup? So, we just try to lay things out. But, Bhaggadon is also trading. And I treat our members the way that I treated Caddy Sue. And I had to explain to Susan, my wife, who I love, in the beginning, is like, look, this is a business, Susan. And you're going to have to take responsibility for your business. I'm going to give you some tools, and I'm going to give you my perspective. But in the end, you're going to need to do this. Because people do what people want to do, Susan. And you're going to need to do it. Now, if I see something that is glaring, I'm going to challenge you. Okay? I'm going to challenge you. I love you and all that. And I think the world of you, but I may challenge you because this is a business and I do want you to be successful and I want us to be successful. And I'm not going to stand by and let you, hurt yourself and hurt us. And some of these lessons may be difficult. We had that conversation. We had that conversation a number of times. In some respects, I even explained in the beginning, I said, working together and stuff, that may be a challenge, but it turned out not to be, and it turned out to be very, very good. So you've got to do some reflection as we're waiting. We're 20 minutes in, we still don't have an order. I hope we do, but maybe we don't, right? One of the things is not being in the market, you don't lose. So this is actually probably more valuable. This information that I'm giving you right now is probably more valuable than any strategy, quite frankly. Because the reality of it is most of the people on the Twitter sphere and the YouTube and on the trading and go to these other webinars and stuff, they don't even discuss this aspect of it. They want to tell you about quality volume. They want to tell you about, this special this special that. And this is all up to you, right? So let's just stay with this little flow chart. You're like, well, where the hell is this guy going with this, right? I'm trying to, oops, that's not what I wanted. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm okay with that. Well, maybe not. I'll do it a little different. Let's undo the last thing. Okay. So this is, I'll do it this way. This is you, right? All of these decisions, oops, I didn't mean to, I gotta undo that one. Once I draw it, I can't. So this is all up to you. And you got all these decisions and anxiety. So you got to work this out, and you got to become a good little disciplined trader, and you got to keep score and all that stuff. Okay, so you got it. All right, and I do think that you do need to have that ending period. Now, we're the first ones to say to our members, you set out with that, that trading range of time. Maybe you end at an hour, maybe you end at 2 hours. But now you want to make the transition to machine trading. This is discretionary trading. Now we want to go to machine trading. So what are we going to do over here? Right? Well, we got to do kind of the same thing, right? We're practicing what we preach, right? But now we got to program the machine. Oops. So we're going to have the set time. Now, the difference in machine trading is the machine, get ready to draw this out. Bear with me. I'm trying to get my little drawing tools. Up here, we said we got to decide what market. Okay. That's a decision we got to program in, right? And here we said, I think it was market interval. Yep. You got to make that decision. You got to set it up, program it in. And here, leverage, right? So you got to do that. Then we got to decide when to enter. Machine decides that. We got to decide how long to stay. Machine decides that. We got to decide when we end. Machine decides that. A lot less stress, right? So here, oops, sorry. We get this one. I'm just trying to draw this out. I'm trying to make you think and look at your trading and what you're doing just a little bit differently here, folks. That's all I'm trying to do. There's just less stress than there is over here. But if you don't understand this and you don't have an appreciation for this, then you're not going to understand this, and you're not going to have an appreciation for what it's doing. It is not. So it's really important that that you get off to a right start and you have some discipline. And you still need to record, and you still need to do all those things. And then what happens is, yes, this is a machine. Let's see if we can draw this out, right? So this is the difference. this is you, and this is the machine, a box that is trading. And what's cool about this is, it is a two-way street. It's a two-way street. The machine is going to teach you, and you are going to program the machine. You are going to make the machine better. The machine is going to make you better. But you have to have a systematic approach here, and you have to have a systematic approach here. Because if you don't have a systematic approach, then you don't have consistency, and you won't have confidence. You won't have confidence here, and you won't have confidence here. Everyone wants to focus on what? What do they want to focus on? And I'm going to get another little tool. They all want to focus on pretty much the same thing, because it's easier. And it isn't on here, but we're going to take it off. They all want to focus on the money. That's what they want to do. And they all want to say, look at me, look at me, look at the money I made. I may embarrass myself here. This may be the most valuable webinar that you could watch, because I am 26 minutes in and we have not had one order. Right? And that's great. And it's the middle of the day too, and that's one of the downsides of doing it. But, I haven't had an order, and I'm not going to place an order. But everyone wants to focus on the money. I love to equate trading to sports. And if you think about it, if you've played sports or have kids in sports, let's just think about it as a kid. You remember when you hit that first baseball? You got a hit. Dad, look at me. I got a hit. Or how about, Dad, look at me. I shot the basket. Or I shot the puck, or whatever, hit the golf ball. Yay. And if your dad's a good dad, which dads are, full of encouragement. Awesome. I can remember my mama come running home when I was playing Pop Warner football. Told her how the coach told me I was a great tackler. She said to me, you're going to be a born tackler. Wow. I was full of myself. And you have to be. You have to be as a kid. And then as you learn the game and you begin to get into organized sports, you realize that there are other kids, and they're pretty good too. And they get egos, and they want to play, and they want to play the game, and they want to play. And then you get a coach that's not quite your dad, and he's encouraging, but he begins to let you know that there's a bigger thing going on here than just you. It's not just about you. It's not just about, it's about the team, and it's about winning the game. It's not enough to get one hit. It's not enough to score one goal. It's not enough to shoot one basket. We need to win the game. And we've got to be able to do it over and over again. And after you win the game, it's not enough to win just the game. We got to do it again. We got to have a winning season. So when it comes to trading, in the beginning, all the people you see on the Twitter sphere, they focus on the first shot, the first basket, the first whatever. And I applaud them. Great job. Good. I'm psyched. I'm happy for you. I'm not trying to hose our members, but I'm like, you do need to repeat this, right? You do need to do it over again. Maybe not every single time, but I do want you to have a winning day. And I do want you to have a winning week, and I do want you to have a winning season. In fact, I want you to have a profitable business. Shit. You mean I just can't show up on Tuesday in between phone calls to my boss, or take tomorrow off, or and just throw something on? Nah. No, it's not worth it. It isn't worth it. So therein lies a bit of a challenge. Now, let's go back to being that kid. We all know the kids that we played sports with in the neighborhood. Some chose, no, I'm not going to do that. Nah, that's fine. Then there were kids that, were just gifted. But I wasn't a gifted athlete. No, nothing seemed to come easy. And I can remember, and you probably do, I can remember not having anybody in the neighborhood that seemed to have a ton of kids. I grew up in a city that wanted to play catch or wanted to play baseball. So what did I have to do? I had to take a duffel bag full of baseballs that I had collected, a lot of them ripped up and whatever, and draw a big square on the side of the high school building at the Meadow, a couple of blocks from my house. And I would go down there and I would pitch the ball into the strike zone for a couple of hours. I would push back and try to throw the ball to that square as the cutoff man and try to get the ball lower and lower, and do that for hours and hours and hours. I didn't have anybody to take me to a batting cage. I wish they did, but we had other ways of practicing. You would go to a frozen lake, a frozen pond, for hockey. Nobody around. It was cold. The ice was bumpy as crap. There was snow on it. And you would try to skate and try to, handle a puck. You would have to work at it. And it took time, but it was something you wanted to do. At some level, as you got older, you began to realize that this work is going to, get me on the team, and then I'm going to get better, and I'm going to realize all the good things that come with being on a sports team and winning a particular game and having a winning season. Do you think about your trading in these terms? I do. I have. And I tried to impart that. And I was not a great athlete. I wish I was. I wish I had been. I wasn't. I'm one of these guys that I do like sport, because in sport, there's a lot of things that it equates to. There's a lot. We can go on and on. We could have equated it. So let's erase the dollar sign for a moment, and we'll come back to the trading. With we got a slow market environment. You need to first, I think the message that I would have for everybody is kind of stop and think about what it is you're doing and what it is you want to do. And if there are folks out there that, want to, hodl and YOLO and it is what it is and do what they're doing, have at it. Great. And some will hit it big. Some will, and most won't. And some will pick off a trade and some won't. But we're here as a mentoring site. We don't manage your money. We don't want to manage your money. We don't make specific recommendations to buy or sell anything. We're a mentoring site. We do provide tools. We do provide a perspective. And you will come to this with your experiences. Maybe it won't be sport. Maybe it'll be something else. And from those experiences, we will learn from you. That is the neat thing for me anyways, and hopefully for others, but at Stock Market Caddy, is that I get to learn from each person. One of our members, a professional golfer, one of his comments says, aim small, miss small. I like that. I had never heard that before. I like that. I adopt that. um, so this machine trading, robotic trading, what it does do, if you can do this and understand this and set yourself up and do this, when you bring and introduce a machine and bring all the good things that come with a systematic approach to over here, it becomes much less stressful. I mean, I'm not stressed. I guess I'm going to be embarrassed. We're 35 minutes in and I haven't had a trade. Okay. I'm not going to go. Now, the difference would be, and we're going to now erase this. So let me do that. And let's go back to our dash or our example here. Somebody else, I mean, maybe, and this is you. Okay, well, there's no trade. Man, I'm 35 minutes in here, 36 minutes. I guess I got to go do something. Let's go to a different market, folks. Let's go to a different market and see if we can find something. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, oh man, maybe I got to get something. No. Told you in the beginning, I don't know. I didn't know what the market was going to throw us. Now, if I had started the market, at just, around 11 o'clock in here, yeah, we would have been long and have a huge trade. If we had taken the swing machine on the NQ, it would have been 715, it'd be $3,000. But, we started what we started here. I said, 2-3 days ago, I'm going to do a webinar at noon, and it's going to run no later than 1 o'clock. That's what we're doing. So if there's a trade, there's a trade. If there isn't, there isn't. And we're happy, to share with those that are interested in, what Swing Machine's all about. We can't do that here in 10, 15 minutes or even in an hour, or get into the proprietary nature of this particular strategy. The performance report is really good. And it's been, it's been beautiful. It's been a beautiful working strategy, but we certainly have caught a little bit of a quiet period. So I want to answer any questions that anybody might have, and I can also turn on a microphone if you'd like. But if anybody has a question. Quiet group. Okay, there's a question again about do you need to be a monthly member if you are an annual member on our membership? And the answer to that is yes. Yes. So all of our so you can be a monthly member and not be an annual member. In the monthly membership, you get a video view of all the markets every night, and it's anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes to no more than an hour. Filled with actionable information. Actionable. That you understand. You understand where it's come from, maybe not initially, but where it's coming from, that reaffirm some of the tools and things that we do, actionable things that you can do from that. Tons of them. More opportunity every night than you might have money for. A consistent, objective approach. Not me drawing lines, not my opinions, but machines. The annual membership, you get all of that on your own desktop. We do require that you still remain a monthly member, and the reason for that is a couple of reasons. One, you still get the video at night, which we think is important to understand the bigger picture, so you're not just plopping your fanny down on a particular day to trade and have no expectation or any knowledge of where we are. So we do think we have to do that homework at night ourselves, Susan and I, and we share it with you and get you in a systematic approach. You cut corners on there and you just want to look at it just on the microcosm when you come in on the day. I don't think you're going to have too much consistency there. But so that's what we do. But number two is if we come up with new tools during the course of the year, you get those new tools all at no additional cost. Also, you get to patch into our Zoom room live anytime you want. Even though you have the tools on the desktop, our annual members get to patch in at no additional cost. So we're readily accessible. Also, as an annual member, if you have an idea or come across another idea and you can write it out and you want us to program it, we will do that. And we will backtest it and forward test it. And we will not charge you for that. Now that alone has tremendous value because programmers, which you don't have to be a programmer, we are for trading. Programmers, the routine programmers, the good ones charge about anywhere from $100 to $300 an hour, and they get a minimum of 4 hours for work. So that just one 4-hour session, can be quite expensive. And we will do all that programming and, do it back and forth and back. Now, I don't have a deadline. Don doesn't have a deadline. But if it's an idea or a concept that I think holds tremendous promise, we will expedite it and get on it promptly. Why? I'm going to use it. You're going to use it. And the other members are going to use it because we're going to make it available to everybody. Now you might say, hey, that ain't fair. It's mine. Well, we share with everybody. It'll actually belong to us because we will have written the code with our skill and we try to enhance it. But we will make it available to everybody, and there is not enough of us that we can overstep each other. The markets are too deep, too liquid, where that's just not a consideration and shouldn't be a fear at all. Now we are 42 minutes into our session and we haven't had one trade. So this is a first, but it's a lesson in and of itself. And, and this video might be the most important video. This will be crazy, right? This is probably the most important video, the most important session that I could do out of the last 7. And I will probably put in the headline, webinar, 1 hour, and if it turns out to be $0, probably nobody will listen. Probably nobody will listen. And it's probably the most valuable one. What is that? What will that, what does that say? People, once again, concerned only with the money. They're concerned only with the outcome. Everybody wants to win the game. Everybody wants to break 70. Everybody wants to, shoot 80% free throws. I'm not sure if that's a high, I think it's a pretty high percentage. But nobody wants to spend the hours and hours and hours in the gym or on the ball field or on the rink. I want some shortcuts, And unfortunately, even when it comes to the machine will have drawdowns. The machine will have losses. The machine will have strategies like plays for a football coach that are just beautiful. The flea flicker, right? Great play. But you may not, now you can do this with machine trading a little bit more than you can in sport. You can't run the flea flicker, play after play after play after play on the football field, or guess what? They're gonna know what's coming, right? So you got to kind of mix it up. Fortunately, these markets are so wide and everything that you could potentially be running a strategy called the flea flicker and probably run it for a good period of time. But there will be periods when it won't run very well, and you have to know what that is as the coach, and maybe you need to change the play up a little bit and start doing something else. Passes out to the flat, passes over the middle, draw plays, whatever. So to that extent, you then, kind of become a coach to your own trading business or a manager of your own trading business. So the most valuable aspect of this video is to try to expose to you, just by chatting with you and patiently just waiting and we're not getting a trade, to look at your trading a little bit differently than what everyone else is doing. And that's what's different about Stock Market Caddy. You know, a lot of people want to subscribe to, you know, whomever, you know, they're all nice people and they're all probably very good at what they do. And some have some sort of service where they send you, you know, 10 picks for the day, and, you know, you have no idea where they come from. And you pick 5 of the 10 and you have no idea why you're picking them. And some of them work and some of them don't. And, you know, maybe it makes money and maybe it doesn't. And, you know, and it was fun. Okay. That's not a business. That's not repeatable. Not likely. No. Nope. And we don't do that. We're not, you know, this is about learning how to trade your game. And we are trying to help people move their game from personal discretionary trading to machine trading. Machine trading. And it's a difficult step. Most people come to us where 100% of their trades are discretionary, even intraday, 100%. Then they begin to use the machine as a guide, but they're still 100% discretionary. And then maybe they run the machine for a little bit, but 90% of the trades are discretionary and 10% is the machine. Because they just don't trust it. It's like, oh, but I put the program on done and it ran down for a couple of hours and it didn't do well. And you even said it's not a holy grail. It's not going to make me any money all the time, so why do I want to do that? Well, there's a step-by-step process, and there is a process to overcome that. But if you don't know how to do that, it's kind of like, what do I, you know, if you don't practice throwing the baseball into the strike zone, you don't practice shooting hoops, you don't practice the dribbling, you don't practice the hockey shot, how do you know? How do you know? I mean, the coach, if we're a coach, caddy, you know, the coach can't play the game. I can't play your game. You know, you got to play. He can only do so much. He can only coach so much. But you're going to be the one to play. And you might play better than that coach ever dreamed. And we have members that have done that. No skin off my nose. Didn't hurt me any. Doesn't take anything away from me. I'm not embarrassed about it. I'm proud of it. We definitely have members that have traded well beyond my wildest expectations, and I only wish I listened to them a little bit more. So my only lesson in that is, as we have more and more members and growing at steady clip, is to listen to people and to understand their experiences and their backgrounds. And it also helps us to teach and to share, and also makes me, I think, a better person and a better trader and a better, you know, stock market caddy. Very, very different. So again, I think this is going to be, you know, this is going to be wild. I mean, I never would have thought that we would go 1 hour with no trades. And if we were to look at the model, so it's definitely performing outside the model. So how do I know that? Well, let's go to the model. Let's take a look at something. We're going to go to a performance report on this strategy. And bear with me. I want to come here. Here's the performance report. Here's the trade analysis. Average time in trades. Average time in trades is 30 minutes. 58 on the long side, 9 on the short side. Let's see here. Average time between trades, 12 minutes on the long side and 43. You know, so the likelihood was, the probability was that I would get some trades. I mean, and you know, this is the performance graph, but we didn't get any, and I didn't force it. Similar to sport. When you have a clear shot to the basket, you take the shot. When you have a good pitch, you swing. When you have a shot on goal, you take the shot. But if you don't have a clear shot, maybe it's better that you don't take it. Why? Well, if you take a shot at the basket, I don't know anything about basketball. When we have members that do quite a bit actually, and at a great level, professional basketball actually. Yeah, that's right. Um, you so I'm talking over my head on that, but you know, I think the term is a turnover. So if you take a shot, you don't have a clear shot, and you gamble on it, I'm going to take it anyways, and you turn it over. Not only do you miss the basket, the other team scores on you, and the markets could score on you. Same thing could happen in hockey. Same thing could happen in baseball. Same thing could happen in golf. I really don't have a legitimate shot to get on the green in 2 on a par 5. I'm in the fairway, but you know what? The hell with it. I'm going to do it anyways. Okay. And you wind up in the lake. And you got to take a penalty, and then your emotions take over. Instead of just, playing it in regulation, I really can't reach the green in 2. I'm going to lay up and then hit a comfortable shot, stay short of the lake, and then hit a comfortable shot to the green. Give myself a shot at a birdie, but at minimum, get a par. No, I'm not going to do that. I think I can do it. I had a really good tee ball. I had a really good second shot. So you know what? Yeah, I appreciate that, Don, but I'm gonna leverage up, and I'm gonna try to hit my 3-wood off the deck, maybe my driver, and I'm gonna try to put it on the green. Oh, okay. Let me know how that works out for you. Crap. I got a snowman. I got a 10. If it was only for that, I'll get him next time. Okay. And the person does the same exact thing over and over again. Maybe this session should have been called the mental aspect of the game. The robotic trading does remove some anxiety, does remove stress, but it doesn't remove you. It doesn't remove your reasoning power. Machines can't reason. We can make them really pretty smart. They can assess all kinds of data, and they can assess it on the fly, but they can't reason. And you can. As long as your emotions don't overcome your reasoning power. When your emotions overtake your reasoning in anything, how does that turn out? Probably not so good. Probably not so good. I think of JFK Jr. He, he was learning how to fly, thought he was pretty good, had a pretty advanced aircraft. You know the story. He goes up later than he should, didn't have instrument training. Oh, I got the skill. He gets out off of Cape Cod in the summertime. You get that Cape Cod haze where the cold water meets the warm air, and it gets kind of foggy, and he can't see the horizon anymore. And he can't tell whether he's up or down. I've seen that happen to traders. That ever happened to you? Vertigo? Can you imagine what that was like in that cockpit? And he can't tell. Now, all he had to do, I am told, and I'm not a pilot, all he had to do was to put the plane in autopilot. And the autopilot on the plane would have leveled out his plane. It would have leveled him out. Now, he would have had no idea where he was. Maybe he would have to get on the radio and try to get a heading and try to get out of the fog and try to get back safely. But it had to be an absolute horror show. He had to be very, very scared. And the poor girls, his fiancée or his wife and her sister, they had to be in the back. They had to be very, very scared. And when you're scared, it's hard to reason. And when you lose your reasoning skills, you then don't make very good decisions. and you can get very, very bad outcomes. So maybe I need to rename this little session, because I think this is actually, I did not think I was going to talk for 55 minutes. And I thought I was going to be able to describe the trade. Quite frankly, I thought we were going to have a trade, make the $500 in about 15 to 20 minutes, and we're going to wrap it up if there were no other questions. And there haven't been any other questions, but we got a number of folks here, and maybe they're enjoying this. So I hope you have, but I'm not going to force it here. I'm not going to, put on a trade. And now the situation I have that I can reason is, we only got less than 5 minutes left. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to disable the strategy. No trades. None. Am I embarrassed? Hell no. Nope. It's real. So with that, I'm just going to say thank you for stopping by. Thank you for your questions. If there's any other questions, I hope this was helpful to you. We're very serious about what we're doing. It's our hard-earned money. Stock Market Caddy is a labor of love. We like mentoring people. But, remember the flow chart. And maybe take a day or two if you've been struggling and just think about what you're doing. Think about where you've been. Think about what you're doing. Also, think about who you're listening to and what they're telling you. Think about what you believe in terms of the markets. And think about what we've shared with you today. And also, in this 1 hour, if you've learned something and it helps you and it, you connect with it, think what you will learn and how you will learn it if you spend a few weeks with us or longer. I'm bagging on at stockmarketcaddy.com. It is 12:57, and unfortunately we didn't get a single trade, but we didn't lose anything either. Discipline. Feel free to give us a call, 813-758-8263. I wish you all the very best. Good luck.